Hey there, and welcome back to the Just Start Talking podcast, the show where we make learning English clear, practical, and actually fun. I'm your host, Jody, and today we're jumping into something simple but essential: basic word order in English. Whether you're just getting started or brushing up on your grammar, understanding word order helps you sound natural and confident when you speak. And since it's autumn, my favorite season, we're going to use examples inspired by this time of year: falling leaves, cozy sweaters, and hot drinks that make your hands warm. So, grab your tea, your hot chocolate, and take a deep breath. And let's just start talking. Okay, let's begin with the foundation, the simplest building blocks in English sentences: subject plus verb. This pattern is how we say who is doing something and what they are doing. The subject is the person or thing doing the action, and the verb is the action itself. For example, in the sentence, the leaves fall, the leaves is the subject. They are doing the action. Fall is the verb. That's what they are doing. The leaves is the subject. Fall is the verb. That's it. It's real easy. It's a subject plus a verb. This is really the backbone of English sentence structure. You'll find it in almost every simple sentence that you speak or write. So let's take a look at a couple of autumn-themed examples. Number one, the air cools. The subject is the air. Verb, cools. The subject tells us what we're talking about. The verb tells us what's happening. Second, leaves change. The subject is leaves. The verb is change. This is really a short, direct sentence, but it's still a complete sentence. These types of sentences are great for beginners because they get your point across without needing a lot of extra fancy words. So remember, when you're in doubt, start simple: a subject plus verb. That's really your first step towards speaking clearly and confidently. Okay, that was the first pattern. Now let's add one more piece to make your sentences richer and more specific, and maybe even a little more exciting. Now we're going to move on to a verb plus object. This is also a common sentence pattern in English. You already know the verb is the action. The object is the thing or person that receives the action. So if I say, I drink coffee, I is the subject, that's me. Drink is the verb, that's what I'm doing. And coffee is the object, that's what I'm drinking. I drink coffee. The object answers the question, what or whom, after the verb. So let's bring this idea to life with some autumn examples. I rake leaves. The subject here is I, the verb is rake, and the object is leaves. The verb rake means to collect leaves with a rake, which is a very common fall activity. The second example, she wears a scarf. The subject is she, the verb is wears, and the object is a scarf. This is another realistic fall image, bundling up as the air gets crisp and cold. So notice how adding an object makes the sentence more complete and interesting. Instead of just saying she wears, we know what she wears. Here's the key idea. Subject plus verb plus object equals a clear and complete sentence. It's probably the most common word order you'll hear in everyday English, from small talk to storytelling. If you practice building sentences in this order, your speech will sound smooth and natural. Let's try one more quick one just to hear how it sounds. They light candles. It's simple, but it paints a picture. Maybe it's getting dark early and the warm glow of candles feels cozy in the autumn. Same thing here, it's subject, verb, object. That's the heart of English structure. So now that we've talked about subjects, verbs, and objects, let's add one last piece to complete our understanding of English verb order: place and time. In English, we often add details about where and when something happens.
Uh-oh.
These details tell the listener the setting or the timing of the action. But there's a pattern, and this is important. The place usually comes before the time. So the order is subject plus verb plus object plus place plus time. So let's break this all down. The subject is who or what does the action. The verb is the action. The object is what receives the action. The place tells us where it happens. The time tells us when it happens. So let's look at some autumn examples to see this in action. First of all, we drink hot chocolate by the window in the evening. In this sentence, the subject is we, the verb is drink, the object, hot chocolate, place, by the window, time, in the evening. This sentence paints a picture. You can imagine sitting by a window, watching the leaves fall as the day ends. So let's do one more. Children play in the park on chilly mornings. The subject is children, the verb is play, the object, there isn't an object here because play doesn't need one in this case. The place is in the park, time on chilly mornings. Again, the place is first and the time comes after that. That's the usual rhythm in English. If you accidentally switch them, it's not a big deal. Most people will still typically understand you. But if you want to sound natural, remember, place before time. So instead of saying, children play on chilly mornings in the park, it's much smoother to say, children play in the park on chilly mornings. All right, let's take a quick minute to highlight a few autumn vocabulary words that came up today. Learning seasonal vocabulary is a fun way to expand your English and keep your conversations fresh and exciting. Here are 3 autumn-related words to know and use. The first one is crisp. This means cool and fresh, usually when talking about the air. For example, the air feels crisp and cold this morning. The second word is harvest. And this is the time when farmers gather crops. It can be used as a noun or a verb. For example, farmers harvest pumpkins in October. The third vocabulary is scarf. And this is a long piece of fabric you wear around your neck to keep warm. For example, she wears a red scarf when it gets cold. Try using these words in your own sentences this week. It will help them stick in your memory. Okay, let's do a quick recap of what we learned today. First, we started with subject plus verb, the simple way to build a complete thought. For example, leaves fall. Next, we added an object to get subject plus verb plus object, making the sentence much more specific. For example, I rake leaves. And finally, we expanded it to include place and time for a little more detail. For example, we drink hot chocolate by the window in the evening. Each of these patterns builds on the other. Once you understand this basic word order, you can create hundreds of clear, natural sentences, all from a few simple rules. And that's the power of structure. It gives you confidence to just start talking. So, thank you for joining me today for season 31, it's season 1, episode 31 of the Just Start Talking podcast. If you found today's episode helpful, share it with a friend who's learning English, or post your favorite autumn sentence using today's patterns. I'm Jody, reminding you to keep practicing, keep speaking, and most of all, just start talking. See you next time. Bye.